Hi, I'm Eric Paulson, and this is the CSW Student Level 1 to 5 curriculum. Okay, now I'm going to bring in two of my instructors here at Trident Academy of Martial Arts in Woodbridge, Virginia, Pat Trade School. Here's Rick Tavares and Mike Custodio. These guys have been with me about 10 years. The first thing we're going to do is star drill. Star drill is a positioning drill. Very important. I've got a few different ones. These are your transitions from position to position. So Mikey will be on his back here. Okay, for side control. There's different hand placements you're going to have. We'll have two arms over. Okay, this is also known as the side mounted position. Okay, so now he'll just switch his hips. Hip heist into Kazuri Keiza. Good, now he'll step over the head, go to north and south. Okay, blocking the hips. Lifting this elbow up now. Back spinning into Kazuri Keiza. And hip heisting and bringing that leg all the way back. Good, opening your legs. Good, and go back to crossbody. Okay, again, notice how he's going around the head. This is position 1. This is a basic 5. Position 2. Position 3, north and south. Blocking the hips, one hand on each side. Position 4. And bringing your leg off his head. And position 5, crossbody. Turn to side control, position 5. Good. Okay, so let me just do it real quick here on Mike. Okay, so laying here, good. Okay, nice and tight, elbows tight, just like this, head up. Your feet are under your butt. They're not laying out long here so he can actually trap your leg, okay? You just keep your feet under your butt, position 1. Position 2, twisting your body, coming underneath. Now taking the arm and folding it down, position 3, controlling. Okay, in this position, the person on the bottom, his hands will be in a prayer style position. Okay, lifting the elbow, back spinning, and then coming back to side control. Keeping your feet under your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is your first star drill, side control, Kazuri Keiza, north and south, Kazuri Keiza, side control. Also in Jiu-Jitsu known as side control, top side control, and side control. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wheel is 4 things taught to me by Higa Machado. Side control, guard, back, and mount. It's really a generalization, overgeneralization of the entire positioning game. I came from both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the Japanese submission background. And with the Japanese, they name all the positions. Like in Judo, all the newaza, all the osaikomi, which is the holding, the newaza is the rolling. All the positions all have a name. So there's a translation of each name from Japanese to English. So I was always taught in Shuto, for instance, there was a name for every position that you had. In Jiu-Jitsu sometimes, it also could be the language barrier. Sometimes there is no name for some of these positions. They'll say, oh, that's side control. Oh, that's side control. How about knee on belly? Oh, that's mount. Well, it's knee on belly. It's mount. Okay, it is a form of the mount position. Okay, so I think the Japanese get a little more meticulous with the names. And so to teach it in English, I think it's easier for us to have names for everything. So here's your first basic 10 positions. Rick's on Mike, Mike's on his back. Okay. The first 5 that you're responsible for in the student level 1 through 5 is side control, mount, Go ahead and just step over and mount him. Okay. Kick out the side control on the other side. Side control. Okay, Mike, pull up, put him in your guard. Guard position top versus guard position bottom. Cross your feet. Okay, this is called closed guard. Okay, you can turn sideways a little bit. Okay. And pass the guard. Open, pass. Okay. Now, Mike, go to your knees. Okay, this is called kneeling position. Turn sideways. Now, kneeling position, you have top and bottom. Okay, so when Rick's on top, Mikey's on the bottom. Rick's objective is to either turn Mikey over, choke him, take his side, or take his back. Mike's objective is not to let him twist and spin to his back, not to allow him to spin on him or turn him over. So his objective is his base, and eventually to get out or turn Rick over from this position. Okay, so this is called kneeling, and kneeling top versus kneeling bottom. The next is starting out on your knees when you high-five each other. That's how your game usually starts out on the ground. The reason that we're starting everyone on the ground, on our knees, is to prevent injuries. Another way you can start on the ground is sit on your butt, Mike, butterfly guard. Okay, just like this. Start out like this. One guy seated, one guy standing. Back up and put your feet on his knees. And this is another way you could start, just like this. Okay, another way we start is we put Rick down in a quarter position. He goes to elbows and knees, and Mikey's on top. Start on top. Okay, usually in judo, the top-notch guy, the higher level student, goes to his elbows and knees, and that's how the rolling begins. Another way we start is by putting them back to back. Go ahead and sit back to back on your butts. Okay, now this is kind of funny because as soon as I yell go, watch what happens. Ready, go. They go to their knees. So why don't we just start them from their knees if they're already doing that, right? Because everyone that starts from their butt, usually to be successful and dominant, are going to roll to their knees or go. They're going to roll to their knees. Okay, so why not just start them on their knees? So that just teaches a little bit of speed, the ability just to start here, and then your post, and come up and start the fight. Okay, so that's called kneeling, starting from the knees. Another thing you can do to start people or students is they go back, lay on your backs. You put your head here, face the ceiling, Rick. Good, Mike, you put your head there, face the ceiling. Good. I'll get a little closer. And 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, that's another way we start them. So this has to do with the entire kneeling process or beginning of your newaza or your ground training. And these are just ways. Most of the time, guys, they don't really care because you're going to end up anywhere anyway, so you don't always start on your knees. Sometimes you start on your butt. Sometimes you sit on a foot and have a leg up. Sometimes you sit flat on your butt. Sometimes you start sideways. Sometimes you start in half guard. Sometimes you start back to back. One guy's in a quarter position. When I was injured, a position I used to do a lot because I was injured, Mike, you lay to your side and face the camera. And Rick, put your chest to his back. I used to start here because I tore all my ligaments in my groin, so I didn't have the ability to go to guard and do stuff, so I could only work from here. Another position I'd start from is fetal facing Rick. Turn into him. Okay, this is also known as a box guard, just like this. And I'd start just like this. This is how I used to start my rolling. And a lot of guys, they'd have a hard time putting me on my back. So I learned my defense for 2 years. Mike's objective is to go to his knees and turn Rick over. Rick's objective is to either take his back or turn him down. Go. Okay, time. Okay, same thing. Ready, go. Okay, good, time. So your objective in that position is your defense. So sometimes when you're injured, you have to start out in a position that your body actually can move from. So for me, being injured, this was a position because I was able to come up and move from there. The other was facing my partner and trying to work to get up to a head inside single leg. Stuff like that. Okay, so that's gonna be kind of a protocol for you guys to start out when you start rolling. You can start from all these different areas or these different positions. also known as situations. The fifth position is back control. Back control facing up, or back control when you're on their back and they're facing down. So Mikey is facing up, Rick's on his back. So go ahead and sit on your butt, Mike. Okay. You'll end up in this position when the guy's here, and he'll be on your back. I like to lasso my hands, or two hands under like that, or lasso, just like that. One thing that Rick wants to do, not to do, is to ever cross his feet. Another thing is his hook can come in and out of the hips at any time. Take it out and keep it here, because that will allow him to flick Mikey off, or he can also put both feet under and straighten his legs so he can sit up on them. See, that sits him up. Okay, Mike, roll to your knees, stay on his back. Okay, this is back control. This is, again, the fifth position. On the back control, generally you do not want your shoulders up higher than your opponent's shoulders. And the reason being is if it's too high, it's easy for him to go out the back door. Okay, that's easy for Mike to get out, easier for him to get out. So always stay in, try to keep your hips and your armpits above his shoulders and hips above his hips as much as possible. Another thing that I like to do is get my hips off center line and get my hook all the way through the ankle like that. It's an ankle or a leg spiral with the leg, and face the camera. Okay, and now Rick is going to go to your elbows, Mike. He's going to go for the opposite wrist, so he's going to form a line from here to here. This is going to create the breakdown as he hips in, hip him down. There's a ton of pressure on this position, and also dive roll and pull him into your guard. There you go. Now you're on the back there. Okay, so this is back control. So these are our 5 basic positions we're going to start with. The first 5, again, is mount, side control, close guard, kneeling, and back control. Back control up, back control down. Those are the 5 basic positions for student levels 1 to 5. Okay, I'm going to show you what they call a swaying base when he's on his back. A swaying base is my ability to switch and open my legs. That's called a swaying base. And the reason I use it is to balance and rebalance myself. For instance, if I'm here on Rick and he starts to bridge, see that? I'm posting. This will allow me to remount. Okay. The other thing when he bridges, look at, I can switch my base like that. And the swaying base is also used from north and south. Okay. It can also kind of be used when he's on his knees. So, see how this circles? This is your second STAR drill. It's called quarter position. One hip down, sway, swing. Okay, switch to a T formation here. Coming up to a frog ride, turtle ride, crab ride. Coming back off to the side. Insert my knee. Okay, and come back to the head. Now, I can put this knee in, but I can also put this knee in, because I can switch to leg attacks, toe holds, turnovers, tilts. So at any time, you can switch that knee when you're transitioning on the guy that's in quarter position. Okay? So we'll have Mikey come in. Rick's going to move on him like that. So knee down, whoop, good. T formation, step over his leg, crab ride, falls off to the side, knee in, and goes to the north and south. And then back the other way. And switch your legs, good. Ride, there, and good. One thing you don't want to do when he takes a side, take his other, come on in, is reach over here. The leg spiral, that reach is dangerous, completely dangerous, unless you get a cross face. Okay? With the gi, if he has a choke, it's fine. No gi, this position, real dangerous if Mike puts his head down and dive rolls. Good. Okay, it's a reversal. We call it apex roll. And all that is Rick's down, and Mike spins to his side, okay, north and south, up here, up top, spin to his side, and reach, Rick rolls, go. That's it. You gotta be careful of the choke though. That's your goal, is really keep your head down. So on that roll, you really gotta keep your head down. And what I like to do is drive my elbow when I do that roll. So for instance, if I'm here, watch my right elbow when I go. Okay, and the other thing here, split base, keep my hips up. Weight here. If he pulls my arm, look at limp arm out, and control the lower body control. This is known as lower body control. Control the legs, keep your head down. And the reason you're going to do this, he's going to push your head down and try to move his hips. Okay? Another thing is he'll try to cross face and lift your head up, and you got to keep your base. These two are very important. This position now is our third position, transitionary position. This is known as lower body control. Hooking the leg, spider mounting, and coming up to the mount. Dismounting, okay, from this position, spider mount or helicopter mount, and coming off. So on the lower body control, you're going to post and you're going to walk all the way up to here, and you're going to control. To north and south, there's 4 positions your arms will be in. You'll have a double under, you'll have a double over, you'll have an over and under, and then on the other side, you'll have a under and over. Your hips can stay here. You can keep your hips heavy. I like to put a hip right on their face. It's called a hip pointer. Or I like to sit to the side, open my legs, and off balance their head. Okay, this is regarded as the lower body control, controlling the legs, hooking the legs with 2 hooks. These are mini hooks, and the hooks are on the backs of the legs or sometimes the butt cheeks. I like to sometimes put them on the guy's butt cheeks, so when he bridge Mike, he actually rips his own butt, so he'll stop doing that. Okay, that's a joke. All right, so now Rick's going to reach over the far side, pull the far leg, and spider mount. Boom. Okay, spider mount means a low mount over the legs. Okay, kicking off the other side. Same thing, spider mount. Good, good. Okay, kicking back off. Helicopter mount. Now when he helicopter mounts, he takes this hand and he blocks the legs and posts wide and steps over. Now, what he's going to do is hook the legs and rest his elbows up on his, just like he's reading the morning newspaper. Okay, you get it? Okay, now from right here, he can also turn in and bring his heel and his knee together, just like that. And this is another way you're going to hold the legs. Just another way you're going to hold the legs. This is for lower body attacks. Okay, and he's going to dismount the other side. He's going to helicopter mount. Boom, hooking the legs, picking them up, and switch your feet the other way. There it is, good. And dismount off again. Lower body control, head down, go to north and south. Now you can tripod and walk your hips up, go back to the other side again. He does it again here. He can also skid, that's the tripod method. He can also just back skid his butt, hips across the guy's face. So he gives him cauliflower face, nose, and ear all at the same time. Now go back to lower body control on the other side. Okay, head down and lifts his hips up and slides across. Boom. Now, best thing from north and south that I like to do, the best position usually next is because the guy starts to try to get out, is Rick's going to lift the elbow with his right hand, just scoops the elbow, lifts it up, just like this with your forearm and just hook it up. Good. And knee on belly. Boom. Right to mount. Good. And go to the other side. This will allow you to mount someone with ease when they try to escape and slide through and mount. Okay, good. So basically now what we've done is we've created a lower body transition drill. This is our star pattern number 3. Okay, look at it again one more time. He's in lower body control. So his 3, number 1 is spider mount. And dismount to the other side. Number 2, helicopter mount. Okay, I always like to pin and post at the same time. It just secures that position a little bit more so Mike doesn't lift his legs up. So pin and post. There it is, good. And lift those legs, good. Number 3, when he dismounts, is right to north and south. And lifts the elbow and goes knee on belly to mount. And to mount. Perfect. Dismounts right back to lower body control. That is star pattern number 3. It's called lower body control. This is called side control. And in side control, this is just double over. We'll just keep it real simple. You want your knee next to his head. You want your elbow nice and tight, keeping it in, keeping his hips tight to you. And you want to stay tight in case he tries to pop his hips and bridge and tries to bring his leg in like that. When he does try to do that, there's 2 things that the guy on the bottom is probably going to do. The first 2 are he's going to put you in his guard. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is he's going to put one hand on each hip and go to his knees. And usually go for a head inside or a head outside double leg. Good. Okay, now, in this position, he's going to do one of those 2. Another thing he might try to do is underhook here and pop and take my back. Come up to my back, good. Okay, go back. Another thing he might try to do is put his arm here, and he'll try to spin under and go to his knees. And go to his knees, that's it. Okay. So knowing that he has those 4 basic escapes, his 2 hand placements for the guy on the bottom is going to be under the armpit and forearm on the hip. Okay? This is where the arm is. The second is this hand stays nice and tight next to my neck. Just like that. Just like that. See that? Okay, and he's blocking my hip. In case I turn, he's still blocking my hip. And this is jacking my chin up in the air, lifting his elbow up in the air, like that. Okay, where you don't want this arm is right here. And that's an underhook. And for me, if I can establish this position, I'm probably pretty much going to take your arm. You never want your arm here. And if you do happen to get it stuck here, grab my trap. Oh, good. That's my lat. Perfect. That's good. Grab the lat on the far side. Keep the forearm there. That's good because this will allow him to bridge me over his hips. Go the other way. Oh, there it is. Go back. So from here, this is dangerous. The guy on the bottom never wants his arm here. 2 places he wants his arm. Here or here. Real good. Okay, top objectives. Side control. Taking the arm, pushing it down, going for 1 lock. This is called a V lock. Sliding the elbow down, put my chest to his hips, and then lift up. Okay? Again, his arm is here. His arms are in a prayer style position. I take this, I punch it down, keeping it tight, sliding it down, putting my chest on his belly, and lifting it up. If he straightens his arm and turns it, this is the chicken wing. This is the Lower body, lower lock here. Sliding the elbow up as high as I can, laying my hip on the floor, and taking the lock. Figure 4 in the same thing, putting my hip on the floor, walking, and lifting and cranking this behind him. Another version, stepping over and lifting and cranking the lock. So you have arm down, arm straight out, this is a figure 4, and arm up. Okay, chest down, body weight down. So for side control top position, this is a far arm attack. There's always a wrist lock here, or here, or if he puts a bench press, there's always a wrist lock here. Don't forget. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 basic locks. 4. There's many more, but these are your 4 basics. Body weight, straight, the arm lock. Okay. His objective is to put me in the guard. Head up, slide that leg through. All right, side control. Now, 2 of the most popular holds in side control generally are the head and the arm. Head and arm. Double over. Head and arm. And then they will overhook and switch their hips here and go lower body control. This is the strongest hold in side control you can ever do. Head and arm. Head and arm. Okay, this is still considered side control. A lot of guys transition to these 2. Double over or lower body control. They'll come here, overhook, back walk, and go here. And this is all part of the transition for holding this position. So you got double over, you're here, you got the head, you lift this up, bring this elbow high, back walk. This is your control. Okay, from this position, Rick's objective, this is a hip drill, elbow control drill. He never wants me to get under his elbow. He never wants me to put my arm, my hip forward and crush his arm. So he'll always try to keep about a 90-degree angle here. What's going to happen is I'm going to transition and switch to this position, and he's going to dig his elbow to the ground and turn into me. As I go back to side control, he puts his forearm back. As I turn and drop my hip and face his legs, he grabs my far hip, reaches over my hip with his right hand, and holds the hip. Okay, so he'll hold my hip. He will come back and control the forearm, and he will put that there. Remember what I said with his arm? It should be nice and tight, or his arm should be right here. If he leaves his arm here, it also makes him stick. He tries to get out, and this arm's going to keep him in position for me, allow me to lock. If his arm is here, or if his arm is underneath, I'm pretty much going to lose this position. Here's the hip drill. Elbow on the ground. Boom. Elbow on my hip. And he turns and grabs my far hip. And comes back. And comes back. This is one of the best drills that I had a friend of mine teach me. After 12 years of training on the ground, the guy goes, here's one of the best drills, how not to get controlled on the ground. It took me 12 years to figure this one out from a guy. They never taught it as a basic. You guys are getting it as a basic, just so you guys don't get controlled. Okay, see how his elbow's on the ground already? Get your elbow down. Good. Turning in. Okay, go to side control. Mikey, turn to side control. And lower body control. Switch your hips, switch your hips. See how he's got his foot? Now, with this little safety hook, when Mikey mounts, Rick just bridges and pulls his hip down. Go, mount. Oh, nice. That's it. Okay. So now Mike's just going to switch, and Rick's just going to do one of three things. Go. You're going to go upper body control. He's going to go side control, keeping that forearm on the hip, and lower body control, catching that hip. Now, a lot of people, it's funny, in this position, I'll actually drop both of my legs. And the guy on top will go, what a dummy. He just dropped his legs. He gave me position. He steps over, and he just pulls a hip and bridges. Oh. So it's a trick. It's a trick from Rick. Trick from Rick. He's going to hold that hip and drop his legs. A lot of times if I have someone really good at controlling side control and I can't get out, I do this one. I drop my legs, and as soon as that guy steps, I pop and bridge. Okay, go one more time. Face his legs. Good. And Rick just drops his legs. Go mount, bridge, bang! There it is, just like a shotgun blast. Okay, go back one more time. Here's one other trick from Rick. Okay, side, just go standard side control. Okay, Rick, get your arm under his armpit. Okay, now Mike, drop your legs, Rick. Now Mike turns his hips, so goes to mount. And bridge. That's it. So that's another one that I used to use a lot when I was getting controlled by a guy who's a really good wrestler or a real good pinner. I drop my legs and keep that underhook. And it's a complete bait for him to set that guy up to do something that he probably wouldn't normally do. Maybe he's really happy or reluctant at holding him in side control. And Rick says, heck with this, I need to get out of here. So he drops his legs. Well, anyone that grapples knows that when those legs are flat, you step over and you mount. One more time. Side control. Okay, drop. Look at that. Mike looks, he goes, oh, mount. Boy, good. And that's it. It works great. Okay, so that's a great setup to getting out. And that, again, is the elbow control drill. Okay, side control. Rick's on top, Mike's on his back. Mike is gonna, this is a drill. This is just a standard drill. Mike's on his back. Rick's on top, put him in your guard. Two arms, hold on. Stay from side control. Two arms over. Okay, put him in your guard. Head up, drive, 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 good. Open your legs. Rick jumps over the other side. Okay, put him in your guard. Head up, cross your feet, open your feet, put your feet down. He jumps over the other side. Put him in your guard, go. And up, open, jump over. Put him in your guard. And good. Okay, Rick, on your back. Mikey, top. Same drill. Okay, jump over, open your feet, jump over side control. Now, Rick's going to put you in his guard. He's going to cross his feet. Okay, cross your feet. Okay, if the guy crosses center line, Rick's going to take this hand and come up and grab his lat. He's going to open and take his back. Get up on top. You just come all the way up, all the way up. Get up on your elbow, up on your hand, up on your hand, up on your hand. Nice. And go back. Okay, feet on the ground, jump over the other side. Okay, same drill, go. Mikey crosses center line here. So Rick comes up and jumps up and takes his back, just comes all the way up to the back. And go back. Okay, open your feet, come side control. Okay, slide over this way a little bit. Okay, turning back in, turning low. Okay, go. Put him in your guard. Notice Mike crosses center line with his arm, or Rick drags his arm across center line, grabs his lat, comes up on his hand, and takes the guy's back. That's when he's going to usually break him down. Okay, same thing now, from right here. If Mike sits up straight, and he starts to push an arm across center line, Rick's going to roll to his belly. Open your base and let him roll. Now you're on back up into him. Good, and go back. Again. Hips. Good, now back up. Good, now get one hook over center line, all the way over, bring your hook over, grab the opposite arm underneath, break down, 2-on-1, hips are flat down. That's how he's gonna break him down. Okay, now you're gonna go for your choke. Go for the choke. There's a short choke right there, okay? If you dive roll and pull him back into you, okay, turn around and face the camera. Okay, now, Rick's objective is to keep his weight high on Mike. Mike's objective isn't to let him be up that high, so you might take his hooks and bring them under his legs. Straighten your legs out. Oh, and there's your short choke. Okay, let's see the big choke. Big choke, figure four, deeper. Hold on. Big choke, this is deep, and this bow ties. Okay, slowly, put it behind his head, all the way behind his head. Put it behind his head. Put your chin over your wrist. You got to get it all the way over. That's a big choke. Good. Okay, short choke. Go. Big choke. Deep, 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 deep. And the back of the hand on the back of the head. Good. And inhale when you do that. Spinning arm lock from right there. Underhook the arm. This is a spinning arm lock. Go back. Back control. Okay, choke. Arm lock. Choke, arm lock. Start to choke, spin, arm lock. Good. Go back to the back. Okay, Rick's objective from right here is to get out from this. So he's going to push up as high as he can. Okay, he's going to put a little bit the back of his head on the floor, then his shoulders on the floor, then his hips on the floor. Mikey's going to try to mount, and as he mounts, hold on, this hand comes here and his other hand pushes his head. Try to come up, and Rick's going to move his hips away and go to his knees. Up, Mikey, up, 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 up. Good, that's it. Let's look at that again. This is your back defense, defending your neck. Okay, so Rick puts the back of his head on the floor, his shoulders, then his hips. You try to mount, Mike. Mount, 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 mount. Good, even. One more time. Okay, Mike's got the big choke. It's called the figure four choke on the back of his head. Okay, figure four. So Rick's objective from right here is to always take the top hand off. He's going to come up and take that top hand and pull it off. Place it under his armpit. Okay, now, in this position, Rick's in danger, so he's going to put his weight forward and bring him back, and he's going to put the back of his head this way because Mikey's finger is pointing in the direction of the way he's going to escape. Back your head on the ground, Rick. Turn in, turn in, turn in. Come up, Mike, mount, 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 mount. Too late. Good. That's it. Okay, go back one more time. This is a very common beginner's mistake. Mikey crosses his feet. So see the cross. Rick crosses his feet over his feet and bridges backwards. And then you hear a loud pop and his knees explode. One more time. Mike goes to choke and he crosses his feet. And Rick crosses his feet over the cross, and that's it. One more time, cross your feet. Good. So Mike's objective is never to cross his feet. Rick's objective when he's in this position is to tell Mike to cross his feet. Tell him.
Cross your feet, Mike.
And then you cross, okay. So that's it. I used to do that a lot. I go, cross your feet, so they cross their feet and I do that lock. Another thing is Rick can cross his feet for him real quick. Cross his feet quick. Now, same lock. Defend your neck. And hips up. That's an ankle break. Okay, so this is one thing that happens a lot when the guy's on your back. He accidentally crosses his feet. Okay, Rick's going to go to his knees. Mike's on his back. This is a pummel drill. Rick's just going to put his forehead in his hands, and he's going to just pummel, come up and pummel one leg out at a time. And again, good. Go back, Mike. Pummel him back in. Keep your weight on your hands, Mike. Keep your weight on your hands. He's going to pummel, and do it again. Again, pummel, and pummel. One more time. Okay, if Mike's in under his armpits, like here's where a lot of guys are going to be. They're under your armpits or trying to choke. And they're going to try to break you down. Right now, Rick's not going to do anything, but as soon, here's another thing. He's going to keep his shoulders shrugged and his chin down. Okay? Mike's objective is to break him down. He's going to pummel out right now. Now, just bounce, tripod, bounce, 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 bounce. And keep going, keep going, keep going. Now grab his head, turn, grab the top. That's it. Good. Let's look at it again. This is one of my favorite tricks when a guy gets his hooks in. And there's two ways you're going to take the hooks out. Number one is by a leg pummel. Okay. Number two is you're going to shoulder shrug and defend. And you're going to catch the heel and take it out. This is taking it out now. Mike, put your hooks in. Okay. Breaking them down. Rick just shrugs and pulls his heel out with his hand. And now take the other one out, baby. He's out. Now he can reach up and grab the back of his head. Grab Mikey's head. Drive. Tripod. Pull north and south. Perfect. Perfect. That's it. Okay. Okay, so again, for the first 5 levels, it's crossbody, mount, close guard, and back control. And kneeling, the kneeling is starting out on your knees. Also, you shot a double, you ended up on your knees, and the guy on top is going to try to spin to your back or turn you over from the front, from the side, or from the back. This is called a mount retention drill. This is a really good drill when someone's on top. If I'm here and Rick's on top here, okay, he mounts. Okay, he's going to sit up. Now let's look at 3 mounts. He's got 3 basic mounts. Number 1 is a high mount. He puts one hand on each side of my head, elbows down, and walks his elbows high all the way up and sits up straight. Straighter, puts his hips in my face, and usually we call this the bow tie because the arms are bow tied. This is also really good for punching. You'll just pull an arm across and just punch, okay? Notice when you punch, your elbow hits the sky, straight up in the air, and it goes straight down and back up. It's a piston. My favorite punch is a hammer fist, okay? The hammer of Odin or Thor. One more time. Pow, okay? All right, and the middle mount now, he's down, my elbows are in, and his hands are on the ground. His head is up, his butt is down, his back is straight, his hooks are in. This is a middle mount. This is one of the best mounts. Okay, your low mount is when the guy's real good at bridging. He's going to double hook in, he's going to underhook my head, and from here, he's going to underhook my arm. Ooh, that's a good control, real good control. Instead of taking the arm, he can also just post his right hand out really far. And that's a real good control. Because my objective is to try to bridge this way, and he keeps heavy on this side. Okay? Then notice his legs here real quick. Crosses his feet. Okay? He can do this too, so I can't get rid of it. If his legs are hooked in on my legs, like a Saturday night ride, look at, ooh, I can get free, and I can actually get under a leg. But if he's hooked in deep, that's harder for me to do stuff. Okay, just be careful of one thing, and that's the tickle. It does work. It does work. It's secret, but we'll keep it secret just for the tape. It's secret. Okay, if a guy reaches, there's the tickle. Grabs the head. Okay, but it also might instill anger in this guy to punch my face off, or to punch my face in. But anytime somebody reaches, the knuckle goes right to the armpit and it just goes in a circle. Okay. Okay, 3 mounts. High mount, all the way up as high as you can. Hips up straight, sit up straight, bow tie. Number 2, mid mount. Notice his toes are in. He's taut, not tight. Taut. I mean, he's reactive and responsive to the way I'm going to move. His last is his lower body. His hooks are in, deep. Or Saturday night ride, that's it. And just hipping down as hard as you can to take my wind. This isn't good for my back, okay? A little secret tickle to get your head free. Okay. Hey, now I have Mikey in this position. This is the mount retention drill. This is one of the most valuable drills you can do. Okay, the guy on top needs to retain the mount. 3 fingers always. Dig the elbows, post, dig, post, and dig. He's going to shimmy his elbows down. Okay, that's one. Now his objective is to push with one hand on my chest. So I'm going to push it across. His other hand pushes. I push it across. He goes 2 hands. And you go double under. Starts again. Okay, instead of pushing, I use push into me. I use my hips. He goes the other side. I use my hips. And he uses 2 hands. 2 hips. Okay. He's going to take his hand and place it on my leg and push, just like that. I'm going to pick it up. He's going to use his elbow inside like that, and I'm going to open and pick it up. He's going to put a hand on my knee and a hand on my hip turning sideways to shrimp out. Here's my goal. How do I kill this? Cross face and pull his head back to center line. Okay, so he's going to use a hand, pick it. He's going to use an elbow, pick it. He's going to use a hand on my hip and my knee. Cross face, pull his head back in, body weight down. Okay, from right here, he's going to wrap an arm. I'm going to pull it out. He's going to wrap an arm. I'm going to pull it out. He's going to overwrap the arm. I'm going to pull it out. He's going to overwrap the arm. I'm going to pull it out. He's going to bridge. I'm going to base and post, just like I'm riding a horse. Bridge, move. Okay, and I'm going to stay on top. Okay, when I'm up high, he's going to try to get his feet under my armpits. I'm going to take it and bring it out and bring it out. Okay, again, reach back and grab your wallet. ×2. He's going to turn to his side. This is side mounted position. Head up, both legs are here. My foot is nice and tight into his belly. My leg on the back is not too tight, but tight enough on his back to control. He goes back to his back. He rolls to the other side. He goes back to his back. He does a full revolution. All the way through. And I follow. He goes the other way. Good. And then we begin again. Okay. So, again, 1 hand push. 1 hand push. 2 hand push. Hand on my knee. Pick it. Elbow on the knee. Pick it. Hand on my knee. Pick it. Elbow on my knee. Pick it. Control. Walk up. He puts his feet on my armpits. Hook and weave them. Stay on top. He bridges and rolls left. Stay on top. He comes back. He bridges and rolls right. Stay on top. Come back. There's a full revolution. Roll. Follow. He goes a full revolution. Follow. He wraps my arm. Wraps my arm. Wraps my arm other way. Wraps my arm the other way. Hips up and bridges. Ride. And that's how you're going to start the drill. This is a mount retention drill, teaching you how to keep the mount. If he's got a really good bridge, he just bridges, ooh, and I lose position, I can dismount to knee on belly and come back. It's a little more advanced. He does it again, I dismount to side control. Then I post and come back. He bridges again, whoop, side control, come back. Bridges again, knee on belly, and then come back. Yeah, this is all part of the drill. It's called mount retention. Okay, mount, the mount position. We have 1 attack, and then we have 1 escape. We've done the retention exercise already. So this is going to be my standard attack that we're going to work in just the beginning stages. And this is going to be a drill. He's just going to post, and I'm going to keep both hands and post here. I'm going to jump to both feet and swing my leg over and take the lock. When I take my legs off, I post, I kick off, and I remount. So I'm going to come from here, head up, post, come up to both feet, and swing it through. Kick off, come back up to the mount. Another lock, very similar. It's just as easy. What you're going to do is you're going to take two hands, and you're going to place the hands together, keeping your chest on center line, putting your hooks in, keeping your head down, controlling the hand and the wrist, and sliding your elbow down. It's called a V arm lock, two hands. You're going to push, keeping your body weight down, elbow down, hooks in, sliding it down, head down. Okay. Mikey now is going to demonstrate these two drills. He's mounted. Notice I give him the hand. He puts two hands here and spin arm lock. Good. Lets it go. Takes it 3/4 of the way. 3/4 of the way. Notice one thing. His knees are tight. My arm is tight to his chest. He hugs it like he loves it. Squeezes everything tight. My elbow's tight to his chest. Kicks off, lets it go. Comes back up. Control. And comes back. Two hands on the wrist. Keeping his chest on center line. Pushing this down to the floor. Putting his hooks in deep. Elbow to my side of my head, off balancing my head, sliding it down, and locking the elbow and the shoulder. Two hands down, his chest is on center line. Okay, double stiff arm, straighten it down, hooks in deep, elbow offsets my head, head on the floor, and slides it down. The reason the head's on the floor, down towards the floor, is in case I bridge. He posts on his head, posts his forehead out. Number two, if I punch, I've seen guys punch guy's face, head up. The guy goes to lock and the head's up, and the guy starts hitting the guy in the face, and the guy lets the lock go. Okay? Keep your head down. That's it. Slide it down, hooks in deep, hips tight, all the way down. Slide my elbow down towards my hips. One more time, other side. Good. And good. Okay, real simple. All right, so you have a spinning arm lock and you have a V arm lock. Here's my escape. I pop my hips as he posts. I trap and I catch and I break this down and grab his hand. My foot or my butt traps his ankle. I'll either put my butt on his leg or trap his foot with my foot. And now I will bridge. And as I bridge, I come up. And immediately, I open his guard. And here's your guard pass. It's a standard guard pass. I form an L here with his leg and his body. Jump my leg through. And get to the side control. A knee slide and mount. Okay. Now his objective is to trap my arm, bringing it over, bringing it down, grabbing my hand, and hooking my foot and bridging and rolling. As soon as he comes over, he sits up straight, one hand, one knee in the middle, and jumps his knee through as he underhooks my arm. Side control. Switches his hips, turns in and mounts. Okay, here's how he's gonna mount from right here. He's going to take his hand and he's going to wedge my leg. As I resist, he steps over. Nice. Okay, I trap. Here's another way I'm going to trap. Sit up straight. Okay, I can grab his hands. I place his hands together, pull him here and bridge him. Okay, or I pop and I trap. And then I roll. I need you to catch here because he'll still put his hand down. Okay. As you break this here, catch his wrist, bridge. Okay. If he's here, you're going to sit up and grab like this. Same thing, bridge. As soon as you come up, you're already passing the guard. Wedge pass. His leg will always be defending the mount. You wedge, he'll resist. Trap and roll. Grab my hand, And roll, boosha. Open, pass the guard. Control. Okay. Wedge pass. There it is, nice, good control. Trap, bridge and roll. Okay, so that's the drill. And it's also your escape from mount. As soon as you bridge the mount, you open the guard, you pass the guard, you go side control. Remount, and then the drill just keeps going over and over in a circle. Pass the guard, side control, mount, he bridges, passes the guard, side control, mounts. Now in the guard, you have 3 basic objectives. Sweep, arm lock, choke. Sweep, arm lock, choke. So his objective now in the guard is to cross his feet. When my head's down, I've got to sit up straight. So I'm going to push his chin, I'm going to wipe this, I'm going to sit up. Now as soon as I sit up, he's going to open his legs, turn his legs sideways into a scissor sweep position. This leg's an inch off the floor. This is a 45, the hook's tight. He controls 2 wrists. He controls the neck and the wrist, or he controls 2 on 1. These are your 3 ties. Okay, one more time. Your 3 ties. 2 on 1. And he's gonna pull and look at his watch. So he's gonna put his watch right on his eye. See how it pulls me up? And that's where he's gonna sweep. Collar and wrist. Pull me up. Okay. The last is double wrist. My preference is double wrist. Pull me up. Good. Okay. Now, when my head is down in the worst possible scenario, I've got to push, I've got to open, and I've got to pull that off. I want to sit up. He's going to open his legs, and he's going to go into this position. Now again, 2 hands, he's going to pull me up and scissor sweep. Boom, and he's going to come back on top. Okay, that's how you're going to finish. Now he's going to stand up. Okay, he's going to allow me to pull guard. I'm going to put him in the worst possible scenario, which is his head's down. He pushes my chin. He wipes the elbow. Push the elbow off your head, right here. Push the elbow up. Good. And take this hand and pull it sideways. He's up. From right here, look what I do. Okay, a little push, a little pull. There's your scissor sweep. And I usually come up to the mount position to control. Okay? At any time, if we want to keep this drill redundant, he's going to wrap the arm, grabs my hand, bridges and rolls, and I'm going to go to the other side now. He's got to break. Boop. He's got to start to sit up. Good. Control. Control here. Come back up to the mount. Trap, bridge, and roll. Okay, he's sitting up already. Scissor sweep or scissor sweep. Push, pull, sweep. Walk around and control. This is a scissor sweep from the guard. Just a quick note, in your scissor sweep, my butt is not on center line, it's off center line. My legs are not flat. My leg here is not flat on the floor, because he can jump over when I sweep. See that? Go back. My foot can either be on his hip or here, an inch off the floor. This knee is almost at a 45, so when he punches, and if he sprawls, I have my weight. Go back. If my knee is here and he sprawls, he could kill my legs. Go back. So in this position, this is good for me to, if I can't sweep, to at least come back to here, and this will allow me to kick back off. Okay, I try to sweep, push, kick off. Okay. So in this position now, my butt has to be off center line. Okay, good. Here's my first arm lock attack from the guard. X arm lock. Again, grab the wrist, grab here, the elbow, pull, grab his neck, foot on the hip, hip high, leg up, leg over, hip up. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which breaks down to how many? 2. 1, 2. But it should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, then you start breaking it down a little faster, and then it should be immediate. Whop! That's it. And that's your arm lock. Grab, foot tight, leg high, leg over. Let's look at the guard again from a side angle. Okay, you grab the wrist, you grab the elbow, you cup it, and you bring it sideways. You reach your 3 fingers over his neck. Your foot comes high, your leg comes high, my hips go perpendicular at a 45-degree angle. My leg comes over his head. There's no space between my leg and his head, and then I hip up and squeeze my elbows and my knees. Okay, when I come here, I want to squeeze my elbows together and squeeze my knees at the same time. It's my entire body finishing his one arm, not just my legs. Scoop. And nice and tight. This teaches you how to move your hips and how to use your legs. I'll see a lot of beginners, they'll go like this, and they'll go, pull your arm out. Oh, I don't know why I lost it. Put your hips in and sprawl. Oh. Okay, for me, here's a big thing in the guard. He's on his back. I see a lot of people, they camp in the guard, and this is because they don't know anything. They just stay here, and they just camp, and they stay here. And they put their weight forward, and they don't do any, and they try to do stuff. You know what? Bottom line, sit your head up, sit up straight, posture, and pass the guard. Open his legs. And if you can't do that, that means you're not very good in the guard. Okay, so it's real simple. Hold my head. This is how I open. I push his chin sideways. I push his elbow up. I pull his other hand that's holding my neck, hold my neck, either inside or sideways. Now when I sit up, I like to try to gather and keep a wrist. Head up. And I always figure that he could slap my face. That's why I always keep my head up. Now I will be on my tippy toes. Tippy toes. Not flat on my feet because he could sweep me. Tippy toes. Head up, knee in the middle. One hand shakes his knee to open it up. And if I can open it up, this is great. If his other leg comes across, scissor sweep position, we have other passes for this. Bottom line, push his knee down, keep your body weight on him, hold his neck, hip down, pass. This is fine. Okay. This is how you're going to sit up. He's got my head. Push, here, pull, hold, control. This is open. Good. His objective, when I start to sit up, some guys sit up and they start to do this, is he's going to reach in and pull both of my elbows, cup them and pull them outwards and just ball up and bring me down. His objective is not to let me sit up in the guard. So this is the first thing in the guard that you should be taught or be teaching somebody, is when he's holding my head. That's a tickle. Like I said, it does work. Okay. He's got my head. And I start to go here. He just breaks my elbows outward and sits up and breaks me back down. Okay, remember when I said when you start grappling, you start from your knees? Here's what we're going to do. We got Rick and we got Mike. You're going to come in together. High five. Okay. This is where a lot of hand fighting comes around. His objective is to get a hold of Rick. Rick's objective is to get a hold of Mike. So they're not going to allow it. They're going to fight a little bit. There's a lot of hand play, a lot of defense, a lot of offense. a lot of positioning, angling, pushing, pulling, and a lot of balance on the knees. And if you don't care about being on top, then have a weak base and just sit back to your butt and go back to your back. But for CSW and for submission wrestling, because of the fact that this is the basis for real fighting, I don't like you guys pulling guard right away. Not until later on if you have to and you want to work your guard. So we always fight for top position. It doesn't mean you're always going to be on top, but fighting for top position means that you're not just going to your back right away, because half the guys don't have a good guard. And if you pull someone to your guard, they're going to pass your guard, so you just pull them on top of you. This way, at least you fight a little bit. So that's why a lot of the takedowns from the knees are all wrestling based. Okay. So what Rick's going to do is just going to tie Mikey's collar and bicep up, push him, snap him, spin to his back. Tie him up, push him, snap him, spin. That's the drill. Okay, come back. Do it again. Tie him up, push him, snap him, spin. Good. Go back. Mike, your job. Get inside the bicep, push him, snap him, spin, go to his back. There it is. Again. Tie him up, push him, snap him, spin to his back. Okay? Okay, now a guy with any wrestling background will never allow the spin, so as Mikey snaps Rick's going to stop him with his arm spin. See how the arm stops him? Another way he'll lift his right leg up. Do it again, arm stop, lift your right leg up at the same time. Push him, snap him. That's it, that's it. Okay, good. Okay, so the drill now is when Rick is down on his quarter position, go down, spin to his back, Mike, half spin, go, spin to his back, boom, all the way to his back, and spin back around. Spin to the other side, and spin back around. Full revolution, go, spin, all the way, and go back the other way. Good, Rick's turn. Half revolution, half back, half in, half back, other way, and back. Full, and back. That's the drill. Real simple. Great. For guys, it's done on your stomach. I'm sorry, for guys, it's done on your chest. For girls, it's done on your stomach. Guys are going to balance on their chest. Girls are going to do it on their stomach. Okay? It makes them spin faster. Okay? Now what happens is Mike snaps Rick down, and Rick goes head inside, single leg. Head inside, single. Go ahead and take him down. Break him down, suck it in, and bring him down. Okay, let's look again. Okay, Rick shoots a double from the knees, and Mike sprawls. Boom. Now Rick goes to a head inside single, sucks the thigh to his chest, and lifts his head and brings him down. Okay. Okay, again. This is a head inside single leg. He brings the thigh to his chest, lifts his head up. He can even lift his left leg up and drive him down. Now he gets control or top position. Okay, same thing. Head outside double leg. From the bottom, snaps you down, boom. He does a head outside double. Turn and drive. The key on the double is lifting the head. The key on the single, if your head's in the belly, is lifting the head. Okay. Head inside, same thing. Single leg, same thing. Go. Rick tries to drive outside, but Mikey posts, so now he flares him to the left. Left hand double leg flare. Go. That's it. Good. Let's look at that again from a different angle. Okay. Rick's got a head inside double, or a head inside single. He tries to lift his head. He lifts his head and also lifts his leg. And if Rick can, he'll try to actually grab the ankle and pull the ankle to him. Pull it into you. Pull it in. Ah, good. Okay, come back. Now he's got the head inside single. Mikey posts a little. Now he taps that far knee and flares it and drives him. There it is. Head up. Good. Okay. So once you take bottom position, Mikey, he's going to go on top. You're going to go head inside single or head outside double. Go. Go. Suck it in. Drive. Bring it in. Bring him down. Good. Go back. Head inside. Flare to the other leg. Go. Okay, flare it and drive it. Nice, good. Okay, go back. Head inside. Okay, He's basing good, put head outside, go, bring your head to the outside, and double leg the other side. Go double leg, good, good. Go back. Rick, you're on the bottom. Let's show the spin now. You got a head inside single. He puts two hands on the ground, he spins to the back of Mike, traps his leg, brings his leg in, good. That's using the shoulder and coming back up. These are just finishes off the head inside single. Do it again, slow motion. Now Rick is here. With his right hand, he's going to captivate his ankle. Go back one more time. Take his near ankle, suck the ankle into you. That's far ankle, which is fine. That's far ankle. You have far ankle, far knee. If you can always get that, this is considering that the guy that you're taking down is not posting and basing wide. He goes to the near leg, sucks the ankle under him, steps over and pinches that leg and then taps him. Don't fall, Mike. Okay, one more time. So Mike, put your back to the camera here. Put your butt to the camera. Okay, Rick's on the bottom. Okay, so he spun to the side. He sucks that ankle in, steps over the ankle, pinches, or stands up and you go for a leg lock. Okay, so your objective off that single, head inside single, spin to the outside, step over, captivate the leg, tap the far knee and the far leg and drive them down. Good, nice. Okay, option 2 off that head inside single, he lifts his head, head inside single, he just lifts his head and pulls the ankle underneath him and just makes him sit out on it. Good, good. And the third option is Mikey posts really heavy on that left leg, and so he goes for a flare to the far leg, double leg flare. Flare him, that's it. Perfect. Okay, and what that is escape once you take the bottom. The guy on top, once you take your partner down, you want to control that arm so his arm doesn't come up and lift. So keep your weight on that arm and keep your weight on his head, and you can either bring your leg here or bring it here to spin to his side. Okay. Second, when he stops me from here, see, now he's got the head inside single. He has the option to pull my ankle into him or pull it the other way, like that. And again, he would tap that far knee and that far ankle and put me down on my hip. That's his objective. And it keeps it really simple. This is real simple, but this works really well. This is basic wrestling 101. Okay, what we're going to teach now is one takedown. It's called a double leg. And again, there's a bunch of ways to finish it, a bunch of ways to get in. Just keeping it real simple. We have a bicep collar tie. This is a bicep collar tie. Okay, and we're going to kind of push in a little. We're going to snap him, and as we snap, we take a little half step back, and that's when we're going to hit the double leg. Okay, Mike, come on in. Rick's going to collar bicep tie you. Okay, he's going to give a little push. He's going to back step. As he back steps, he's going to take a little step with his right foot forward, and he's going to drop step, boom, drive it in, stand up, and turn him. Okay, that's called a low to high double. Low to high double. We can also just do a high double. Same exact setup. Keeping it real simple. Snaps, up, and turn the corner. With a flare on the end of it. Okay. Low, stay low, same thing, and let's leg hook. Snaps, yep. Brings him back, hits him, leg hooks, takedown. Good. Okay. Same thing. Spin him down. Just a spin down, circle them and spin them. Nice, real simple. That's because the guy starts to sprawl. Okay, the other thing is he stands up and turns the corner and flares him and tilts him, which we just did. Low to high, let's do that, low to high. Okay, let's stay on the knees, let's stay low on that one. Okay, snap, no, Mike, you stay up. Snap, up, when he comes up, he hits him, he head up and just bing, there it is. So these are all different finishes. We have finish one. Just stay on his legs real quick, Rick. Turning the corner, turning the corner. That's called turning the corner. Okay, number two. Number two, flare. Good. Number 3, spin down. See how he cuts the knee, chops the leg. Number 4, leg hook. Simple, good. Sean Shirk's favorite, the blast double. He just takes them straight back, just straight back. Ties them up, boom, just brings them straight back. Good. Completely fine, really good for a big guy. It's just a tackle, okay? And your setup, let's look at the setup one more time. It's called the bicep collar tie. Okay, let's turn and look. Okay, if you look, his hands are like a heart. He's got the neck and he's got the bicep, and his elbows are kind of coming in together. He's going to step. He can give a little push. Then he on this, he can either keep the hand here or he can actually keep it here, and you'll get more of a cuff on the back of the head when he really snaps it from right here. Okay, his hand from right here will actually come right bang, and he'll get like 3 extra inches if he starts his double from his hand here. Snaps it, snap, see that? And now Mikey pops up. Now he drops, steps, penetration, head up, drive. That's it. And that's your form. Let's look at it one more time facing the camera. Mike, back to the camera. Okay, ready? Back step, snap, bop. There it is, drive it. Head nice and tight, nice. And covers him with his hips and stays real heavy. That's a double leg tackle, standard double from a collar bicep tie. One of the easiest and first takedowns you need to know.